DC, the boys, Alabama Prisoner Profiles. Fuck going on with y'all, man? Like, subscribe, share, notification bell, Cash App, PayPal, man. Membership, man. Y'all already know what's going on with the membership, man. We 7 deep up in the membership. Y'all know what the fuck going on with that, man. Y'all need to check that out, G. Come join the family, G. You really about that, man. Now, today, I'm gonna be bringing y'all, finally, right? We have a former Hispanic Alabama prisoner who was gracious enough to tap in with me and let us know about the Hispanic structure of Hispanic prisoners within the Alabama Department of Corrections. Let's hop right into that right now.
Do you have like a name or a nickname?
My name is Will, and being that in the Department of Corrections in Alabama, that we're the minority, everybody refers to us as Essay. Essay this, Essay that. So everybody referred to me as Essay.
You said what race, nationality are you?
Mexican.
Okay, I got you.
So in the penal system, in ADOC, pretty much every Hispanic was referred to as Essay. Now, there was a few of us that got called by first name, but majority of the time when we were referred to by other groups, it was the essays. Essays this, essays that. Which, I mean, it's not derogatory, but some of the people there were from Central America, South Mexico, Honduras, and, Central America.
Where in the states are you originally from?
I'm originally from San Antonio, Texas. That's where I was from. That's why I started my journey with the Alabama Department of Corrections. I initially got locked up for drug trafficking in Baldwin County, and Baldwin County carried a minimum of a $1 million bond for drug trafficking. Once you go over the bridge from Mobile to Baldwin County, it's an automatic $1 million bond. So I initially got pulled over on a traffic stop, which I thought was a traffic stop, which was following too close to an 18-wheeler. But later come to find out during my motions of discovery that the gentleman that I was, participating in illegal activities with in North Carolina had got a parole violation. And in order to get out of 6 months of incarceration on a parole violation, he decided to give me up. So instead of doing 6 months and, going a little here and there, we've been doing, quite a bit of, let's just say we had a longer relationship than that I thought would be more of an understanding that if things were to happen to either one of us, we would both take care of each other's family and take care of, legal fees and responsibilities. But in order to beat a 6-month sentence, he told these folks he knows where some drugs are coming from, and they followed me once I got off of I-10 to I-65 North, and they waited, the Alabama Department, Alabama Task Force, whatever they call themselves, they waited for me to cross the bridge because they knew that there was a higher bond in Baldwin County. So once I get across the bridge, they hit the lights on me, pull me over. What are you doing? Where are you going? The reason I pulled you over was for this such and such, falling too close to an 18-wheeler.
It's a move.
Yada, yada. Oh, yeah. So as I'm sitting there waiting for them to proceed with bringing me a ticket, I noticed coming from the northbound side, I noticed a Dodge Durango coming at a very, very high rate of speed with its lights on. So here I am, sitting on the side of the road, thinking that, this dude just called backup. So what I didn't notice was the cars behind me. They had shut down part of the highway, and the officer pulled his cruiser into the middle of the highway. The Durango hit the center, flew up like the Dukes of Hazzard, dirt flying everywhere. And while I'm paying attention to him, another vehicle pulled up next to me. They get out, guns drawn, get out of the car, because evidently they had been told I was armed.
So, like, before
So-
this, they ain't have no, like, there weren't any, it was just going to be like a traffic stop, like,
The actual drug task force. So as they set off the highway on the northbound side, going northbound, they shut off the highway, and the drug task force came screeching up next to me, screaming and hollering, get out of the car, they get out, guns drawn. You know, everything is pretty much, I know what time it is. I mean, this wasn't my first rodeo. So I was aware
so
of
when
the
you
fact
when you
that,
say would you say that, like, had you been, like, arrested before for something, like maybe somewhere else or in Texas, or this is just your Alabama rodeo?
well, when I say my first rodeo, it wasn't the first time I've made that trip.
Oh, okay.
First time I got caught, but it wasn't the first time I made that trip.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, I've been in the game since I was a young teenager. I grew up in the streets of San Antonio, Texas. I ran with one of the largest street gangs in San Antonio, and I was the leader of that.
Damn,
And
what are you, like, Congo Blast or something like that, or
Tongo Blast is new school. I was part of the Kings. It was a crew called BTK, Big Time Kings. So we had different factions all over the city, all over the state, which were Lincoln Court Kings, Big Time Kings, West Side Barrio Kings, East Side Kings, Low Key Kings. I mean, it was pretty much a big deal. So, you know, coming from a background of that, I was aware of the consequences of my actions. So I can't sit here and say, oh, I can't believe this was happening. But you just know when you have that many police coming after you, you know, when you got that much attention, you know what time it is. You know, so the gentleman who, like I said, that I was done business with previously was facing a 6-month parole violation. So in order to save himself, he snitched on me. Said, hey, I got this guy. Y'all can get him. So that's what happened. I got. So I get out of the car, lock the doors, lock the windows, threw the keys into the woods, you know, whatever. Little last attempt to try to do something, you know, to enable them from getting in the vehicle.
no consent?
No consent. So in the process of no consent, they broke the window. In the trunk, they found what they were looking for, and I get locked up in Baldwin County, Alabama, which they made sure purposely to pull me over in Baldwin County so I would have such a high bond, which would intimidate me into telling them where I got it from and who my plug was and where it was going and so forth and so forth. Well, I was facing a felony possession. Actually, I was facing a drug trafficking, which is considered a violent crime, which anybody in the penal system knows is 85% of your sentence. You know, you don't get no good time. You don't get no, you know, turn around, come home kind of shit.
It's a class
So,
A. Huh? Yeah.
yeah, Class A. So I go on the run, go to trial, and mind you, it took them 7 years to prosecute me. I went on the run. I got sentenced. I got an appeal bond. So when I got an appeal bond, 25,000 cash, which I don't know if any of my brothers out there know this, but in the time, you know, in the event that this ever happens to you, right after your conviction, you have up to 72 hours to file an appeal bond, which you're automatically granted an appeal bond. Now, the judge can determine the amount of your appeal bond, so he can sit here and tell you, okay, yeah, you're getting an appeal bond, but it's going to cost you $100,000. Well, they fucked up and gave me a $25,000 appeal bond. So I'm like, you know, like, I'm not like, fool, let's do it, but I'm like, shit, I got it, let's go.
How
So my old lady,
much was your original bail again? Before I don't think
my original bond was $1 million. I paid $275,000 in cash to get out on bond.
Yeah.
So with that being said, you know, I'm 275 into it. I'm 100,000 into a lawyer. in my ass thinking, oh, this is Alabama. They ain't got shit. They ain't gonna do shit. Shit, I was wrong. Them motherfuckers banned me. They got me good. So, anyways, long story short, end up getting caught in Beaumont, Texas. So I get caught in Beaumont, Texas. They extradite me back to Alabama.
So what was going on with the appeal bond during this? So like the appeal, you just lost it while you were waiting?
Well, I lost my appeal bond, and then I filed for another appeal. So I go back in, I get locked up. My attorney calls me and says, hey, you need to turn yourself in. You lost the appeal. He said, but you have one more appeal that we can get you another appeal bond on. So, all right, here we go. I go to Alabama, go in front of Judge Walters. I think his name is Walters. I can't remember that freaking name. But go in front of him. He tells me, get back in jail, go back to jail, file an appeal bond. He grants me another $25,000 appeal bond. And boom, off to the races. So I'm out on the road, living life, doing what I'm doing. Because the judicial process is so slow there.
Yeah.
This is where it gets good. The appeal process is so slow there that I'm 2 years out on bond before my attorney calls me and says you lost your appeal. And I lost my appeal, and the only reason I lost my appeal was because my attorney didn't object in court. So whatever's not said in court is non-admissible on a appeal. They don't take anything that's not said in the courtroom on record into consideration.
Yeah.
None whatsoever. So I go ahead and I go on the run because I lost my bond. They're like, you need to turn yourself in. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be right there. So I'm driving through Tennessee one night. Life is good. Just came from, doing what I do on the road, working, legitimate job. Headed back to Texas to hit the blue light. To get pulled over for having dark tinted windows and a Texas plate in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Damn.
So I was using an alias. I had my cousin's information down pat. I knew his name, his date of birth, social, his mom's maiden name. I was a career criminal at that time.
Had that gotten you out of shit before?
Uh-huh.
Damn.
So I get sentenced. So they picked me up at fire expedition because I'm in Tennessee. I'm in the air conditioning. I'm running the tank. I'm, living a good life. So everything is fine. Then I lose my extradition. They got 10 days to come get me. So I think that they're taking me back to Baldwin County. So here I go on extradition, riding around. Next thing you know, I pull up to Kilby. I said, what the fuck? So these guys are getting off the van. I'm sitting on the van. I ain't even getting up. I'm not supposed to go here. I'm supposed to go to Baldwin County. Yeah, get out the car, sir. So there I go. First day in prison.
Hey, how old are you at the time?
This time I'm 33. 33 years old. So I get out, get into Kilby, do my little thing, and from there, I'm the Lone Ranger. I'm like, where are the rest of the Mexicans at? I'm being from Texas. We are the majority. Being in Alabama, I was quick to realize we were the minority. So there was quite a few people, permanent party in Kilby that I had known from San Antonio. One of the guys, and like I mentioned earlier, he was a Kingster. So he wasn't in my set, but he was from the same hood that I'm from. What's that?
What are the odds?
Yeah, exactly. So he welcomes me in. He's giving me love, breaks me off some food. Every time they spread because permanent party, there's, not quite a few Mexicans, but there's a handful. And, pretty much my people break bread. It ain't about what you bring to the table. It's about loyalty. They know that you're down for the raza, which is, the culture. You're down for us. We're going to be down for you. So I get down in Kilby. I'm there forever, forever, forever. So let me backtrack. When I went to trial, my charge got dropped from trafficking to felony possession of marijuana. The reason my charge got dropped from felony possession of marijuana was because when my attorney was out of the gump. When he came down, filed for a motion for discovery and to have the evidence presented at trial, the state of Alabama could only come up out of 70 pounds. The state of Alabama could only produce 3.5 pounds at trial.
Oh my God!
Chain of custody. This department got this. This was destroyed. Nobody has records of it being destroyed. Yada yada yada. So they dropped my charge to felony possession.
Nice. That's
so now, So now I'm level 2 work release. So I'm like, bet. I'm fixing to go down the road, go get a job at the Pilot gas station, smoke my little free world, and I'm good to go. Well, little did I know about what they call SAP. So I get hit with a SAP program. So now I got to go behind the fence.
What is SAP for the audience?
Substance abuse program. You go listen to a man tell you how much of an addict you are. You go listen to Mr. Father Time tell you about God. You listen to all these addicts tell you about how their life has changed and this and yada yada, which is pretty fucking depressing. So here I am thinking I'm going to a fucking work release program. Next thing you know, I end up behind the fence at Elmore. So I get to Elmore, and I hook up with my people there, which is literally a handful.
How many is a handful?
There was 14 Hispanics in Elmore.
Damn, total.
So now they're not united though. They're far from, they're far from organized. They're far from, being street, being hood. They're far from what it takes in order to survive as a group. So me being who I am and looking at the situation, we had an instance come up where on the Sundays, one of these essays, which was one of my people, sold the black guy some chicken. So the black guy is supposed to pay him a pack of Reds, pack of coffee for it. And basically, the African American fella told him to go fuck himself. So I don't hear about that part. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, a few days later, we're out there playing soccer, and the dude points him out and says, "Hey, me out there aquí, un cigarros." I was like, basically, he said in Spanish that the dude burned him for a pack of Reds.
That's cool. I was gonna wonder if you could speak some Spanish on here because people. Dude sounds like a normal dude. He doesn't sound Hispanic. There y'all go, bro. Just spoke Spanish.
Yeah. So I'm talking to him, and we get in a little circle, and I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, well, this dude owes me money for this chicken. I said, you gave a brother a chicken without paying for it. I said, what you gonna do about it? Oh, I just won't mess with him no more. I won't mess with him no more. I said, no, they gotta go bang him out.
Yeah, he can't.
That's the first time that yard has seen the rise of us.
And so he went and did it?
So we went and did it.
Oh shit. I forgot.
So one thing about my people is if one of us go, we all go. There ain't no question. It ain't no, hey, you go stomp this dude out, you do this. Tienes todo, meaning it's all for, si tienes todo, todo tienes. Meaning for all for one and one for all. Like, we're all going to do it. So we all get up, and these little Hispanic dudes, now you talking about dudes from Central America. They're not Americanized, and they're not gangster. They're not hood. They're not into these things that you would think of as when you think of a street, penitentiary-style Hispanic gangster. So, these are farmers. These are honest working men that got locked up on some shit, for drugs, drinking and driving, no violent crimes. There's some bullshit that they got locked up on, but because the state and gets reimbursed by the federal government twice as much for an immigrant as they do a United States citizen, you got guys in prison that are there on bullshit charges. So back to the story, we're sitting there playing soccer, and I tell them, like, we're going to bang him out. Like, and they're like, no, it's just chicken. No, we don't want no problem. No. I'm like, listen, you either bang him out or I bang you out.
Now,
and then after I bang you out,
was this black dude like a gang member or something like
this is what makes the story good. So he's a GD, claimed to be a GD. But one of the things that I found is a lot of people talk, but a lot of people can't walk. So I said, this is what we're fixing to do. When dude walks over here, we're going to kick the soccer ball in his direction. I'm going to run at the soccer ball, and I'm going to lay this dude out, and y'all better fucking be right behind me. So sitting there around the track, dude come walking with his little friend. Boom, kick the soccer ball over there. And then I walk up to him, at a jog, because he thinks I'm going to get the ball. And at a jog, the first thing I asked him is, how you like that chicken? And I use, some profanity behind that because, it's just how life works. So how you like that chicken? Wow. Put him down. So some other dudes ran up. My guys ran up. Turned out to be a little thing. But I'm in B dorm, and half of my Hispanic people are in the C dorm. So now I know I got to leave them alone. They better fend for themselves. Well, with just a little bit of leadership and guidance, I would tell you this much. I would take those 13 other guys, and I'll go against anybody. We got down, and it was all for one, no matter what. He gets down, you get down.
We had the GD jump in, or is it like a
the head of the GD jump in and wants to sit down and talk with me before things escalate, because, obviously, we're the plug. We're bringing in stuff, and things are getting brought in under our watch, so we're the plug. So they didn't want no static, especially from dude over some shit. So anyways, dude came by. We had to sit down right there on the other side of the church where the gun tower couldn't see us. So we had a little sit down. We sitting there talking. I got two of my representatives. He's got two of his representatives. He's got the violator. I got the guy he violated. So we're sitting there talking, chopping it up. And he's like, what's this about? I said, dude owed him, dude took money from him. And he's like, what do you mean took money? I said, he got items out the kitchen and didn't pay for him. And then told my boy to fuck himself. So I don't know what y'all used to before this, but right now we're united. So you fuck with one, you fuck with all of us. So he's like, no, he's going to make it right. He's going to make it right. So dude ended up, the one that I banged out ended up apologizing and brought up and it charged him 2 sacks. So now your price done doubled. So they didn't want no static. We were, somehow with our organization, we were able to get things in there that a lot of people were addicted to. So that front stayed cool. But from that moment forward, we ran together, we ate together, we showered together. Like, we were our own entity, And if anybody fuck with us, we fuck with them back. We chase many people down over debt, and we handle business over debt. The thing is you look at one of my guys, one of my soldiers, you look at them, he's 5'5", 110 pounds. Well, you better add about 10 more on top of that, because you fuck with one, you fuck with us all. I saw I had a lot of interactions with the higher ups and the SBs, the ABs, the GDs, anybody and everybody who was a shot caller. When they had issues with my people, they came to me. And if my people were wrong, my people were right. I would never choose another race or another story over anything my people said. That's just how life works. So we all got along pretty well. We did our own thing. We played soccer. We ate together. We lived together. And, being that I speak English, to read fluently and, to participate in, going to the law library and stuff like that, I pretty much did everything within my power to keep my people educated on what their rights were, what they had the ability to do, what things and what steps were necessary for them to get out of the predicament they were in. A lot of them faced deportation after their incarceration. Some of them, when they got paperwork, didn't know what was going on. So I would take care of them. We're a family. So that was pretty much my experience with that. You got into gambling, you were on your own. Ain't nobody gonna jump you. But if you got into gambling, you were on your own. Just made the best out of the worst situation. And that's all you really can do.
Damn. Bill, how long did you get sentenced to?
So I got sued, and the good thing, let me tell you the kicker on my story, is because the judge didn't follow due process, I got out on a fucking technicality that ended up writing, check this shit out. So I got $160,000 in lawyers. I got 100 and something wrapped up in time and bonds, a couple hundred in there. So I paid this old black dude, been in there since the 70s. I gave him a card in Newport. He wrote a letter to the Attorney General of the state of Alabama. The state of Alabama reviewed my paperwork. A year and a half after getting in there, I get a knock on my bunk telling me to roll it up.
And that's gonna do it for part one, guys, with that boy Will, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section. G, shout out to all my Hispanic Americans and immigrants, prisoners, and free people, man. Y'all know what's going on. DC The Voice. Like, share, subscribe, Cash App, PayPal, Alabama Prisoner Profiles.